Folks, thanks for joining us. My name is Dave Yoster from the Managed Service Providers Association of America, but that's not the important part. Today, we are joined by Max Joseph from AT&T Partner Exchange. Max, thanks for joining us. Max, can you hear us?
Sure can.
There you go. All right, great. Well, it looks like we missed that whole introduction there, but if you didn't get it, my name is Dave Yoster from the MSPAA. But like I was saying, and Max, you are from AT&T, and welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Dave. Excited to be here.
So I don't know if anyone heard that, but Max is from the Partner Exchange, but that may not mean anything to a lot of people. So Max, why don't you give us a quick introduction to yourself and what the Partner Exchange is?
I'd be happy to. Yeah. So the AT&T Partner Exchange, we call the Apex program, is the resale arm of AT&T's business with our third-party vendors. So what does that look like? That's an opportunity for our industry professionals to work with AT&T to buy products and solutions that we sell, things like dedicated fiber, SD-WAN, 5G, and IoT, and they'd be able to buy it at special rates for themselves. They then get to take those products and then resell them to their end users. They do it under their own name, they do it at their own brand, and we don't tell them the margin. They can pick whatever margin they want. So it's a really great opportunity for our industry partners to get the tools that AT&T supplies and then expand their business and serve their customers a little bit better with additional tools.
So Max, there was a lot of information there, right? So let's see if we can kind of dig down into that. Okay. So first question I have: everyone knows AT&T. We know that. You mentioned Apex. Break down what Apex is exactly. Like, what does that mean?
So Apex is just the short version of what we call the AT&T Partner Exchange. And within that program, that is where we would work with industry partners such as yourself, MSPAA, MSPs, SSPs, ISPs, any one of those individuals that want to expand the portfolio of services that they have to serve their end users. Specifically for AT&T, we would be selling transport, fiber optics, SD-WAN, 5G, things like that. And so we'd be able to augment the portfolio that you go to business to your end users with AT&T solutions. But the key is we don't get in the way. We let you run the entire program. You're my customer of record. The end user may never know it's AT&T if you don't tell them. You do all of your own billing, you do all of your own tax, you do all of your own support, and you get to continue to be that trusted advisor to your customers.
Okay, great. So I think we kind of narrowed that down. Let's bring this a bit together here. So, you're saying all this, and it's coming very fluently to you, which I'm hearing. You've obviously been with the program for a long time, right?
I've been doing this for a little bit of time. That's right.
Tell us a bit about you and about like what your role is in all of this.
Yeah, great. So I am the director of business development for the program. So I'm in charge of meeting people out in the fields. I talk to them about the program. I bring them through the process of onboarding. We do background checks, credit checks. We'll do some service tests so that they get an opportunity to see real world what our coverage is for our network. Does it serve their customers? Is it a good fit? Can I make money on these margins? Does this make sense? And if all of those things work through, then we'll get you through the program. And eventually I'll hand you off to a full account team. And that account team is there to work with you day and night. They are all domestic. They're either in Dallas or Atlanta. So you're calling up those teams. You'll have their direct lines. And they're there to support you for any order you need. You'll have a main account manager who's kind of your one throat to choke, right? If anything goes awry. And then they're supported by a mobility team specific to AT&T 5G and IoT services and a technical engineering team. So if you had more of a detailed or nuanced engineering or technical solution that needed to be done, you have your own technical team there to back you up and check on orders and help do a little bit more complex tasks. So you have this whole infrastructure that is in the program built there to support you. But at the beginning, you get to work with just me, and I answer any of your questions, and I'm happy to run all the details for you and make sure that this program is a fit.
Okay, great. Sounds awesome. All right, so we got the program, we got AT&T. Now everyone knows, like AT&T, it's a national industry leader. We know that. There are thousands of different services that you guys have. We get that part as well. Let's kind of bring this to reality a little bit. So
Sure.
you have this program. Can you, if you're allowed, can you tell us a story of someone who's actually used this platform of yours and how it's actually benefited them?
Yeah, yeah. No, that's a great story. I'll leave out some of the details, but I
Sure.
do have a customer who works in California, up and down California, and their niche is the MDU, the Housing HOA Association, and they have buildings all along the coast, and they're basically responsible for all of the access control, so all of the panels that allow people in and out of their buildings. They're responsible for the emergency elevators that go up and down, and they're the ones who coordinate all of the internet into the building from a backbone standpoint. And as we started talking, we realized that this particular vendor was going to different people for different services, and he had multiple contracts, and nothing really was simple to do. And I said, well, let's take a look at what AT&T could supply to a handful of your customers, a handful of your buildings. And it turned out that not only were we able to provide uh, better pricing for him on his internet to these buildings, but we also had solutions that would help him with his access controls. So some of those boxes that he needed to get in and out of the buildings, we were able to put a 5G backup on all of them, so he doesn't have to worry about if the power goes out, the people can still get into the building, into their access control. All the elevators we updated, so no longer did they need the copper lines. They were able to bring that into the 21st century as well. So we took some time to look at those specific need cases and found out that a lot of things could be solved just under one roof. And what that did for the solution provider is it allows him to basically take ownership of all of these segments. Everything is on his paper, everything is on his name. He sets margin for all of them. So he was actually able to increase the margin he got from individual customers while at the same time kind of shrinking the number of vendors down to a more manageable number. So it really worked as a great test case. And he's just been replicating that up and down the West Coast, the Bay Area.
Yeah. So Max, during that little story, and people love hearing stories. They want to see, okay, great. We don't want to just always hear what you have to offer, but we want to hear a story of how it's actually worked, right? One thing I'm hearing in that story that you mentioned, again, it's just going fluently. It's not like you have to think about what you're saying. It tells me that that provider has had your support the entire time. That's what it tells me.
Well,
About right.
yeah, I would say that's kind of what makes this program unique is from the very first step when you start working with me on the front end. I mean, I'm gonna ask, what does your business do? How do we?
Sure.
Uh, what pain points do you have? And I really want to understand how you make money, how you make your business, and how you make your name to your customers. And that is more important than just shoving internet down your throat and having you go sell it. It's really finding
Sure.
out a way that we can work together. And I take that information and I'm going to start building, sample sets. Let's go get pricing for you of your existing customers, right? I know you're not going to move them over immediately, but I
Sure.
want you to understand the breadth, the scope of what AT&T can offer. And hey, this is what it's going to cost you. Can you make money? Does this fit into your business model? Just because I can plug a fiber optic into a building doesn't mean it is necessarily the right option. But if you can make money on this, then it makes sense. And so we'll take that whole process and go through. And once we have you in the program, that's when I'll sit down with the account team and we will review the entire use case. We will go over all of the opportunities that we've quoted, kind of set them up for success. And at that point, we also start talking about other things in the program, things that maybe the solution provider has a challenge with. For example, maybe they don't have a very good billing and tax solution for internet.
Sure.
Well, great. I can pass that information over to our account team, and we actually have ecosystem partners who can fill those gaps for you. So we can actually help provide services if there's a gap in the ability. Maybe you don't have a marketing person, or you have, one person who just takes pictures and posts them online, and you don't actually have a marketing function.
Sure.
Well, we have a great program, a marketing development fund, where you could use AT&T's money to
Max,
hire a professional marketing person to get you out there. So we're here
let me
to,
hold you there, Max. Let me hold you on
yeah,
1 second there,
yeah,
because that's a question I wanted to ask. But before we go down that road, that you said something earlier on, and I want to show the screen here. Is you said that this program can adapt to the needs of whoever your potential partner is, right? And I want to show something here quickly. So this is a highlight level, and Max, if you need to explain something, please jump in. This is a highlight level, but what I wanted to emphasize is it says choose the model that works best for your business, because you're right, it's not one shoe fits all, right? It's a matter of sizing and figuring out which one works best. So you have the partner exchange and you have refer a business. I'm sure there's a lot more to it than we see here, right? But if we go down, this is what I really wanted to focus on, this resale portfolio and qualifying resales. So it's not just someone who comes in and says, "Oh, I work with AT&T," but it's someone who can basically white label their service offering with your product line. Is that's about right, correct?
yeah. I mean, that is a very good way to think about it. I mean, there are zero of your customers that don't need internet, right?
Sure.
Everybody needs it. Now you just need to figure out how that makes sense. And if you're going to supply your customers with these services, you might as well do it under your name and your brand, and be that single point of contact. Certainly, you can tell them it's AT&T fiber you're plugging in there if you want to, but you don't have to. On the other end of that spectrum, if you don't think the partner exchange program is a fit for your current business model, we do have other programs that we can kind of work with you on. There's four different programs within the AT&T Partner Solutions umbrella. AT&T Partner Solutions is the main umbrella, and there's four different areas. The Partner Exchange, the one that I'm speaking about today, is only one of the four, and that's our resale one. But
Yeah.
if you don't want to do all of the billing and tax and tier one support, we have a program for you. If you are only interested in referring business over to AT&T, and you don't want to have anything other than an email involved, we have a program for you. So we will come to you and meet you where your business makes the most sense.
And this is, I think, a perfect opportunity to now go into what you started going down a few minutes ago, those MDF funds.
Yeah.
So what is that?
Yeah, marketing development funds are probably my favorite part of this program. Uh, Marketing development funds, for all new customers, all new solution providers that come into the Apex program, we will give you $10,000 of money in a bank that you can spend on co-branding and co-marketing with AT&T to expand your reach. It's our investment in you to help you grow your brand. That could be things like website development. That could be customer outreach, direct email or direct mail campaigns, email campaigns. There's a whole list of things that you can use it for that would be marketing focused. And I think we talked about this. What if you don't do billing and tax? That's great. I have some very large customers in our ecosystem that you could use those marketing development funds to offset the cost of that. So if that is a gap in your capabilities and you say, Max, everything else looks great for this Apex program, but I don't do billing and tax. Great. Okay. Well, we have a solution for you. We can help you with that. So that is a great program there. Now, how do you get marketing development funds? Well, we are going to upfront you that $10,000. That's our gift to you, our welcome. We want you to get started. Every quarter, whatever you use, you get. Whatever you don't use, it's gone. It's use it or lose it. But based on your sales, we will continue to put money in that kitty so that you always have money there. So if you are engaged in the program, if you are selling and it's working out really well, AT&T is just reinvesting in you that you can then go out and get more customers and reinvest in yourself. The whole idea of the program is that the more you're successful, the more we're successful, the more you're successful, and it works in a cyclical nature. It's really the highlight. It's my favorite part of the program, and nobody is going to not want to spend AT&T's money, right?
Sure, right? Absolutely. But now I do have to ask this.
Yeah.
What is a story you can tell us about that? Is there something that someone has done this? that
Yeah.
really
Oh,
kind
all
of
the time.
shines a light.
Yeah, all the time. I have a customer that we worked with this year, brought them on board to the program, and already had an idea of how they wanted to spend marketing development funds. They actually hosted a customer event um, at a Top Golf I don't know, location,
Sure.
and brought in one of their AT&T channel managers, and they hosted all of their new customers there for this event. And AT&T, reimbursed them based on the event. Now, there's some things we can't do. Can't pick up some of the alcohol and things, but uh, the marketing development fund was a great way for him to expand the reach to customers that he probably wouldn't have seen otherwise, and do it on AT&T's dime. And then having AT&T there with him gave a subject matter expert in case any technical questions came up about what we could do, where, how can we do these things. It was a great way to jump on that. And I think I mentioned this earlier. The one key thing about these funds is that they are use it or lose it. Every 3 months, it kind of recycles. So this individual knew how he wanted to spend it and had submitted the authorization and everything beforehand. That was a perfect example. What I don't want to happen is somebody to hear this, get in the program, and then wait to the very end and, oh, let's do something, and then the funds go away. Spend the
Yeah.
money.
So
Have a
so you
plan to spend the money.
yeah, you want it to be successful, right? That's the whole point of this.
I absolutely do. It's not. I don't get the money if it goes away. So I want them to get the money. I want
Yeah.
them to use it to grow. Right. It's an investment in your brand. Make sure to use that money. Make sure to find a way that it best impacts you. And if you don't know, that's fine. We have a marketing team that can sit down with you and say, well, hey, we can do this here, or oh, maybe an event doesn't work for you. Maybe you want to do like you can buy fiber lit lists, so we can give you every building in a city that is on the AT&T network. All you have to do is pick up the phone, call those people, and say, "Hey, you can get fiber. Let's make it happen." So there's a lot of different ways that you
Sure.
can make use of those funds.
And I know we're going over time here, Max, but I think this is really important because a lot of companies, especially managed service providers, they struggle with marketing. That's everyone knows that.
Yes, yes.
AT&T is this huge beast in the country, right? Who is saying to all of these guys, "We want to help you. We will even give you the funds to do that." Um, and it's such a crucial time, and it's such an important factor to note that they're not alone.
Yeah,
They,
no,
they
that's
have
not a
this,
unique thing. That
yeah,
is not a unique thing at all. What I love about this program, but makes it a little bit different than other AT&T programs, is we are really kind of here to support the MSP or the ISP, right? You,
sure,
we're not shoving things down your. We're not telling you this is the way you need to do it. I'm giving you all of these tools and resources, and I want you to tell me how this would best help you. And if you don't know, I'll give you some suggestions, but you're the boss. You get to pick. You are my customer of record. However you decide to go to your customer, however you decide to host those events, ultimately that's your decision. AT&T is not going to get in the way of that.
for
But
sure.
I think it's really unique insofar as we are kind of taking a back seat to a lot of things, and that MSP is driving the relationship. So uh, that is unlike a lot of different programs I've seen at AT&T.
And I think this is a perfect time just to let everyone know that, in the next few weeks, Max is actually going to be doing an entire webinar series on this program and what AT&T can actually do to help. Whether it's MDF funds, whether it's partner exchange, and I know they're kind of joined together there. Um, but so this webinar is coming up relatively soon. It will be through our LinkedIn page, the MSPA LinkedIn page. We will send it out to our community as well. So if this is something that sounds like it's resonating with you, jump on that webinar and let's see how that can actually benefit you. If you need more information, folks, down below is the website. Go have a look. Max, I mean, you've seen his name blasted all over the place in the last few minutes, right? But reach out to him on LinkedIn. We've worked with Max for a long, long time. He's very responsive. He's more than happy to even just help you with some guidance. And if it is a program that sounds like you want to jump on it, by all means, go jump on it. And like I said, the webinar's coming up. Max, before we close here, is there any closing comments you would like to say?
Yeah, well, look, I think every time we do this, we throw a lot of information at people, and maybe they're multitasking and kind of hearing it out of one ear or something else.
Yeah.
If you are curious about the program, please go to the website, take a look. There's information. Just reach out to me. I mean, my email's on there. Just email me. I'm here. This is this is what I do. I'm happy to talk about the program and see. And maybe it fits and you didn't know it. Or maybe this particular one isn't what you're looking for, but maybe I can help you get over here. I mean, I manage across all of our portfolios. So it is, they're all my baby. I'm happy to get you to whatever makes the most sense.
Awesome, Max. Thanks so much for the time. Thanks so much for all the
Thanks,
information.
Dave.
I'm really looking forward to the webinar coming up. That's going to be really, really awesome. But again, folks, reach out to Max if you want. And Max, thanks for this time.
Thank you, sir. Cheers.
You have a fantastic day, Max. Bye.